Today on Winthrop Close Up, the new class of 2020 are all settled in, but how has their transition been going? Stay tuned to find out.
Find out why Richardson Ballroom was packed, up next on Close Up.
Brain trauma is often a topic of discussion when it comes to NFL careers. However, repeated collisions can fumble down high school sports as well. See how the South Point Stallions prepare each week to minimize injuries.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. My name is Lexi DeMoya.
And I'm Kelsey McKeska. As the end of the semester approaches, half of the journey for some classmates are coming to a conclusion, a journey that may lay pathway to their future. Winthrop welcomes the class of 2020, and reporter Jacqueline Fuller shares some thoughts on her experiences of freshman year.
The first year of college is always the hardest, not academically, but emotionally. It's the first year college students are learning to cope with being on their own.
I expect to just kind of be really overwhelmed and wanting to come home all the time. But I've been staying on campus the whole time. I've been making lots of friends. I have more friends now than I used to, and in a nice community that welcomes me.
To help cope with the abrupt transition into adulthood, Winthrop sets place opportunities for freshmen to succeed. FYE, or First Year Experience, is an office on campus that is there to help new students.
So the Office of the First Year Experience exists to help offer support for first-year students as they transition to college. So whether that's academically, personally, socially, we want to make sure that they make a seamless transition from their former high school environment to the collegiate setting.
In addition to the FYE office, students are also required to take ACAD 101 that creates a classroom environment while discussing their first year in college. Each class has a peer mentor and a professor that are there for guidance. Here's what advice ACAD professor Dr. Grossoehme and peer mentor Cameron Sellers had to offer for first year students.
I think it's easy to forget that you're paying for this, right? Like you're paying for this, and if you're not serious about it, you are wasting a lot of money. So show up, be prepared, put in the time that you need to put in, swallow your pride and do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, it's your money.
Don't be afraid to talk to your professors. Make friends with your professors. That's the one thing that coming to Winthrop, I have made multiple friends of mine are professors.
Yet a lot of students strongly agree that academically college will get more difficult. How you learn to cope with this change will lay the outline for the next years. Jacqueline Fuller, Winthrop Close Up.
Winthrop Close Up would like to say good luck to the class of 2020 and hope that their transition in college is successful.
Visible held a program called It Could Have Ended There, giving students the opportunity to share their story about suicide. Reporter Victor Volious takes us there.
14. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for college-age youth.
Tears was flowing as students opened up about suicide. The coordinator of the event explains why she decided to talk about this topic.
The purpose of the event is to bring awareness to suicide. There's a lot of times when people don't get to talk about it, or they kind of sweep it under the rug, and this is a chance that I want students of the same age or the same group to understand that this is something that happens.
Audience members walked away from the event with a new perspective on life.
From what I took away from the event, I just took away that it is important to seek help, and it's also important to think about yourself.
You just never know what someone may be going through. Like, they may have a happy face, but they could really be really going through something in their personal life. So it's just, I took away that you should just be a friend and be nice to everyone.
While students came and said it was a learning experience for them, it also became a therapy session for the panelists as well.
This is the first time I actually told my story to people, to such a large platform, so it was really helpful, helped me kind of come to terms with it.
The event gave students an outlet and a platform to talk about an unpopular topic. Victor Volious, Winthrop Close Up.
If you know someone who is struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, please take them to health and counseling services to get them the help that they need.
Suicide is still relevant on college campuses. Winthrop students partnered with the LGBTQ leaders from the National Don't Hate organization, put on drag show. But what made the show unique is that it drew light to disturbing issues in the LGBT community, such as suicide and bullying. Reporter Renee Reese tells us the story.
Winthrop's very own Global is again showing the campus what drag can do, but this year they are teaming up with the National Don't Hate organization to draw awareness to suicide and bullying.
The purpose of the organization, well, first off, the purpose of Don't Hate is to recognize and celebrate each individual's differences through our message of one voice, one song, one dance can make a change. 47,773 people are committing suicide yearly, and then 25 per person that's committing suicide is attempting suicide, which gives us over 1,069,000 people. And that's yearly. I attempted suicide twice. I tried jumping in front of a car, ended up in the hospital. 6 days later, I overdosed on medication, locking myself into a room. It took my friend Joey Black in order to get the police to open the door in order to get me out.
For Global, bringing awareness to suicide and bullying is close to their heart because it hits home.
When I was in high school, we had 2 people in my class commit suicide, and it was very hard, and it just goes to show how common it is. You don't think about it, but that's 2 people out of the whole school, out of people that I knew that committed suicide.
The LGBT community views drag as a way of self-expression and being able to be everything you want to be in your life. It provides a stage for issues like bullying or suicide.
And I think that a lot of people just need to hear about things they don't talk about, I guess as much. Yeah.
But drag, when I'm Kenya, I forget who I am because it gives you that opportunity to be somebody else.
Renee Reese, Winthrop Close Up.
The National Don't Hate organization encourages people of all ages, no matter their sexuality, that know anyone or is thinking of suicide to talk to someone and know that there are friends, allies, and resources available.
Next on Close Up, see how Winthrop University's Department of Theater and Dance has brought one of the greatest comedies to the studio theater.
Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. It's a topic of discussion inspiring the Hollywood film Concussion. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, is an insidious disease to the brain caused by repeated blows to the head. Reporter Christina Houseworth huddles up with the #1 football team in the state and discusses how they practice to make football safer for players.
Here at South Point High School, where just a few moments ago I had an opportunity to speak with Coach Straight, and we discussed how he teaches his players proper techniques when tackling and playing football.
The whole philosophy of the game is different now. We don't hit very much in practice anymore. Almost everything we do, we stay up off the ground. We started a new thing that USA Football has started that's called Heads Up Tackling. So we have about 5 different techniques that we use, learning how to hit with the front of the shoulder pad instead of hitting with the head or the top of the shoulder pad. It helps with concussions and with shoulder injuries. So that's one of the things that we concentrate on.
CTE's discovery is credit to Dr. Bennett Umala, who describes the brain, or this rock per se, as being in fluid that's completely disconnected from the skull.
So when someone suffers a concussion, it's different for every person and every individual because the symptoms are going to be so different because it's a brain injury and everyone has a different brain per se, and it depends on, do they have a history of concussions? If they've had one before, it generally takes longer for them to heal. We've been really lucky. We've cut down on a lot of our concussions from last year. We've probably had 5 between our freshman, JV, and varsity team, and that really owes to sitting down with the coaching staff and cutting down on how much contact we make at practice, and that's helped us a lot.
You get headaches from time to time, but nothing really like that. That's all I got, headaches. I will continue to play because football teaches you a lot of things. One of them is adversity and playing through hardships, and you're going to go through that in your life sometimes. You're going to have adversity. You just got to push through and keep going on. You just can't quit. That's something that's taught me through the game.
As more precaution is taken to prevent injuries, especially when it comes to head-to-head contact, one of the biggest tackles you may have to face is retiring from the sport you love for good. Christina Houseworth, Winthrop Close Up.
CTE brings awareness to brain trauma. Symptoms can begin to appear months, years, or even decades after trauma has ended. Currently, CTE can only be diagnosed after death by brain tissue analysis. Winthrop University's Department of Theater and Dance brings one of the greatest teen comedies to Johnson Studio Theater. Based on the 1998 movie, the production focuses on all too real danger of cliques in high school, featuring the popular kids that everyone loves to hate in pop culture.
It's been a really fun process to work on it and explore these characters and work on the show.
Heathers was staged in the smaller Johnson Studio Theater. The popularity of the show and the intimate setting of the studio theater resulted in a sold-out run within a few hours after tickets went on sale.
Yeah, I saw Heathers this weekend on Sunday.
Oh, how was it?
It was super good. There are so many talented actors.
That's good. I need to make sure I go see in the next production then.
Definitely. Well, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Winthrop Close Up. We'll see you next time.